Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day today. Thanks for watching. Today we're going through the 3.5 notes. We're going to graph quadratic functions in intercept form. I will let you go ahead and go through the starter. So maybe pause this video and unpause it when you're done with the starter. All right, number one on the notes. So you've seen this a couple times at this point, but there are three forms that we're learning this year, how to write quadratic functions. Vertex form and standard form we've already done. Intercept form is this lesson. Now in class, I had the kids talk for a minute with their neighbors about which form they've liked better so far, vertex or standard, and why. So if you just kind of want to pause the video and think about that to yourself, you could totally do that. Number two was kind of like an investigation class activity. Here is a function in standard form, and we just filled in the t-chart. So you'd plug a -4 in first for x, see what y comes out to be, make your t-chart. Should be a parabola if you do it right. So the class just did that for a couple minutes on their own. So once again, pause the video if you want to do that. Unpause it when you're done. And now, number three on the notes, here's the official rundown on intercept form. So the form is f of x equals a times x minus p times x minus q. A couple key points about that. The x-intercepts are p and q. And just like a lot of the other formulas we've seen so far, because of the minus here in the formula, say this was like a +3 right here. If it said x plus 3 and x minus 2, then we could say the a number was like a 3. The x-intercepts, you have to reverse them. So the x-intercepts would actually be -3 and +2. And then to get the vertex, the x-coordinate of the vertex is always going to be exactly halfway between whatever p and q end up being. The official formula to find that is the average formula, which you've done a lot over the years. So you do p plus q divided by 2. So there's a couple key points about intercept form. Number 4, practice graphing a couple of functions that are in intercept form. Here's our function, 3 times x minus 2 times x minus 4. So let's graph it. First thing you do is you always figure out what your x-intercepts are going to be. It looks like it's going to be +2 and also +4. Remember, whatever the p and the q numbers are, and you reverse the signs on those. From there, you want to figure out what your vertex is going to be. Just like you wrote down a second ago, the x-coordinate of the vertex is going to be exactly between the two x-intercepts. So halfway between 2 and 4 would be 3. To get the y-coordinate of the vertex, you're going to plug in whatever you just found as the x-coordinate of the vertex. I'll do it up here. So we're going to plug in a 3 for the x. So that'll be 3 times a +1 times a -1. Multiply those all together and you'll get -3 for the y-coordinate of the vertex. And that's really enough to graph it. If you graph your two x-intercepts and then you graph your vertex, then you've got enough where you can draw in your parabola. Sorry, mine looks so bad on this little tablet that I'm using. Super hard to be like accurate with your drawings when you want to be. So anyways, intercept form, I kind of like it. I'm a fan of it. I think it's easy to work with. You can get that key information pretty quickly. Here's another example. Y equals negative x plus 1 times x plus 4. So our x-intercepts are going to be negative 1 and negative 4. Negative 1 and negative 4. And then we find our vertex. The exact halfway point between negative 1 and negative 4 would be negative 2.5. You'll definitely want to use a calculator when you plug in negative 2.5. It'll be a real pain by hand. But I believe it comes out to be 2.25 when you do it on your calculator. So negative 2.5 comma 2.25, we'll say that's about there. And then you have enough to make your parabola. We knew this one was going to be a frowny face parabola because of the negative right there. Now for the rest of the lessons, we really just want to focus on switching from one form to another form. So first, standard form to intercept form. And to kind of keep the video snappy, I don't think I'll graph them on the video. We did in class, but I won't do it on the video. So whenever you're to the graphing part, pause, and I'll let you use all the skills that we've learned this chapter, and you can graph each one. So first, let's go from standard form, and let's try to change it to intercept form. Here's a function in standard form, 2x squared plus 4x plus 6. To get it to intercept form, you're basically going to use factoring. So first of all, we could factor out a 2. We'll be left with x squared plus 2x plus 3. And I just realized this example is not a good example, is it? So I think I made a typo right there. So this should be if we factor out a 2, x squared plus 2x plus 1 is what I want that to be. Okay, so sorry about that. Should be that. So now you can keep factoring this thing. It'll be x plus 1 and another x plus 1. Now it's in intercept form. Like I said, I'll let you graph each form. They should look the same if you're doing it right. So now let's go the other way. Let's go from intercept form and change it back to standard form. So here's my equation in intercept form, negative 3 times x plus 5 times x plus 3. What you're going to do is you're going to do some FOILing. So if I FOIL or multiply the x plus 5 times the x plus 3, I'll get x squared plus 3x plus 5x, so that would be plus 8x plus 15. Oh, and I should be doing this over here. I left room for it and I'm not even using it. Then you want to distribute your negative 3 into those parentheses. So it'll be negative 3x squared minus 24x minus 45. Now it's in standard form. And once again, I will let you guys take a second and graph each one of those. Okay, next we want to go from vertex form, which was the first one we learned this chapter, and we want to change it to standard form. So if we want to go from vertex form to standard form, really it's going to be more foiling. Remember, x minus 2 squared really just means x minus 2 times x minus 2. Then you'll have this minus 3 sitting out at the end. When I FOIL together the two x minus 2's and I simplify, I think I'll eventually get x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then we'll have that minus 3. Combining like terms, we'll have x squared minus 4x plus 1. X squared minus 4x plus 1. Cool, so we went from vertex form, did some foiling and combining of like terms, and now we have it in standard form. Once again, I'll let you guys pause the video and graph those, make sure they really look the same. Okay, part D, we want to go from vertex form to intercept form. It's going to be kind of similar to what we have done so far. We'll just combine a couple things. So first, we want to take vertex form and we'll do exactly what we did before. Remember, x plus 1 squared equals x plus 1 times x plus 1. And we're first going to change it to standard form. So we'll FOIL these out. First, outside, inside, last. So that'll be x squared plus 2x plus 3. And then you'd factor and get it into intercept form. E and F, we can't go from standard form to vertex form quite yet. We'll have the skills to do it after we do chapter 4. F, same thing. We can't go from intercept form to vertex form. We have to learn about this thing called completing the square before we're able to do that. Okay, so last but not least, we just need to practice one where we are given the two intercepts and a random point of the function, and then we need to find the equation for that function. What you're going to do is you're going to start out in intercept form, since we know the intercepts. And we have this a number out front. We're not quite sure what that a number is yet, but we know quite a bit in here, and we use this random point to plug in for x and y. So the y will be 20. Still don't know the a. The x will be -4. So that'll be -4 plus 9 and -4 plus 2. Now we can start solving down for a. -4 plus 9 will be 5. -4 plus 2 would be -2. So we'll finally get that 20 equals a times -10. Divide both sides by -10, and it looks like a will equal -2. So the final overall equation is y equals -2 times x plus 9 times x plus 2. you've got your equation there. And that is it for 3.5. As always, you are awesome. Have a great day. Hope to see you back in class soon.